Hello, audience. Today we're going to be talking about Matt Miller's book, Ditch That Textbook. And you may be surprised to find out that DITCH is actually an acronym which describes the kind of teaching practices an educator can implement in order to increase engagement, motivation, and enjoyment in a classroom atmosphere. This can be done in several ways. So, starting with D, our teaching instruction should be different from what students are used to seeing. It should be unique to them. This can be accomplished several different ways, but some highlights: our classroom should be a place where fun and magic can occur. Students want to see teachers who remember the little details and prioritize them as an audience. They also want teachers who value them, who want to have a real deep connection and relationship with them, even while it's professional. Um, Students want their teachers to have their best interests in mind, and that can be done, believe it or not. Even if it feels like you're going against what other teachers are doing in their classroom, don't be afraid to stick out a little bit. Don't be afraid to be the one that stands up for your students. And be innovative. Invent new and or modify old teaching ideas. There's so many lesson plans and activities out there because teachers are filled with ingenuity. So implement some of their great ideas. And when you create some awesome ideas, share it with the world so that other teachers can be inspired. But the important thing to remember is that when you are choosing things to do in your class, discover what motivates your students and plan your time based around that, because you don't want to be wasting your students' time or yours. And one way that you can be innovative is by being tech laden. Our world is full of digital tools and websites that will enhance the learning process. So equip students with these resources that are making connections in their brains to content in new ways so that they won't easily forget what they've learned during their time with you. But be wary. Don't allow your really cool tools to become like $1,000 pencils, meaning it's a fun, fancy, shiny piece of equipment that is supplying services that simpler things like pencils and paper could provide. You want to be intentional about the purpose of your resources. Um, and you don't want to inundate them with so many things that they become overwhelmed and aren't able to take full advantage of everything they have to offer. Instead, introduce things that will have the most benefit to them. And don't be afraid to go slow so that they can really have the most optimal experience. And just a quote over here from Sir Ken Robinson talks about how a teacher has to provide the conditions in their classroom for their students to grow. You can't make your students grow, but you can create conditions where it will thrive. And one way that it can thrive is by having lots of hands on experiences. Foster an environment that allows students to make or try things on their own and allow it to connect to their culture and other real world experiences. Because when they get out into the world, they are going to need to know how to confront the problems that arise, and you want them to be prepared for that. So let their learning be hands on. And last but not least, we have C, which stands for creative. And you want your activities and you want your time in class to tap into a student's mind so that they can produce original work that they can be proud of and know that it came out of their own brain and their own imagination. Allow students to ask good questions, which will get their juices flowing and how to answer them. Also, there are many things that they can make to spark their creativity, whether their own blog posts or comics or Minecraft worlds or art galleries or movie posters or logs or future predictions or Pinterest boards. The options are limitless. So allow your students to explore their creative side. If you need a recap on what all of those letters mean, Here is a graphic from Matt Miller's own blog that kind of goes through the different letters all over again. So I hope this was informative and helpful. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.